Hey everybody, it's just Kristen Chavis. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome child. And if you're a returning subscriber, I'm so glad that you are back here with me on today. All right, y'all, let's get into it.
It's another one for real. K Chavis, I call you for real because you the truth.
Okay, so today I just feel led to talk about discernment, discerning of spirits. This is something that isn't taught very well in church or taught in Christian circles, period. And in Corinthians, I believe, it talks about the different gifts. And it talks about discerning of spirits. Now, I believe that everybody is born with a measure of discernment. But you can pray and you can cultivate this gift. You can ask God to strengthen this gift. And many people ask for the spirit of discernment. And they've been discerning the whole time. And they just didn't know what they were doing. Children are really good at discernment. If you watch babies, they'll go to certain people and they won't go to certain people. Or when certain people come around, they just don't want to fool with them. Okay, innately from birth, we have to be able to look at people and feel if that person is okay. But over time, I've learned that people have dumbed down their senses or given too much trust or too much benefit of doubt for people, and they end up stifling this gift of discernment. Your entire life has been a playbook, a dictionary, a spiritual dictionary, if you will, that is within you, stored within you, that you can access. Everybody that you come in contact with through your childhood, whether it's school, whether it's church, whether it's friends, this is your dictionary, spiritual dictionary, to discern different spirits. That's why along the way in life, you'll meet certain people that remind you of this person or remind you of that person. And most of the time, if it's reminding you of a person that's negative, if that person is reminding you of someone that is negative, you need to pay attention to that. I guarantee you, if you begin to look at this person, if it reminded you of a mean school teacher, you look at this person, it will give you an idea of what type of character this person is, what type of spirit they carry, if they're a mean person, bitter, or whatever. Sometimes it'll be a stronger version of them. Sometimes it'll be a lukewarm version of the person from your past. But this is God warning you that you shouldn't be so trusting, you shouldn't be so nice, you should guard yourself when you're around this person. This is what God is trying to tell you. We have to start listening to this. And when you start listening to what God is showing you about that person, when it reminds you of someone from your past, your spirit of discernment will get sharper and it will get more keen. Sometimes we will meet people that remind us of our grandmother, and your grandmother was sweet, she was loving and caring. Okay, this is letting you know that this person can be trusted, this person is peaceful, this person is loving and caring. Okay, what if you come across somebody that's like your aunt? She was nice, but she was nasty nice. And you're like, man, that lady really reminds me of my aunt. Beware of that person. Okay, the spirit of discernment is to allow you to know what type of boundaries to put around yourself. It is not for you to be gullible. It is not for you to be mistreated, and it's not for you to be used. A lot of people are so upset with people because they have mistreated them and done them wrong, when all along they could have been using their spirit of discernment. The red flags have been popping up all over the place, but you chose to ignore it. You chose to ignore all the signs that God was showing you, and now you have to reap the consequences. The Holy Spirit dwells within us all that are believers, and the Holy Spirit will reveal to you who can be trusted, reveal to you which direction you should go and which direction you should not go. But if you do not listen, you cannot blame anyone but yourself. Okay, so even I keep seeing this woman, when Saul went to the woman in Endor, and he asked her to conjure up a familiar spirit. This spirit that she was supposed to seek for, she didn't know who she was looking for, but in the spirit realm, she saw a man with a mantle on. And it was Samuel, somebody that she knew and somebody that Saul knew. In this moment, she discerned this spirit. Was she a medium? Was she supposed to be seeking for dead spirits? No, don't do that. That opens up a ton of other doors that you don't even want open. Okay. But in this place, God is letting you know that familiar spirits do exist, and it's more than just dead spirits or spirits that have passed on, but it is things that we have encountered in this life that are familiar to us. There are people that carry these familiar spirits that you have not ever met before, but they carry that anger, they carry that predator spirit, they carry that bullying spirit on them. And because you can recognize that spirit, it is a way for you to guard yourself and show you how to handle yourself accordingly, and even show you what to pray for or pray against. Okay, so in this place, I just came to encourage you guys, stop dumbing down your senses. Stop playing dumb. There are some of you that have been playing dumb, and you have been seeing things about people and what's going on with people your whole life, and you have been just pushing it away, acting like it doesn't exist. And some of you have pushed it away so far that it really doesn't exist in your mind, and now you are wandering around lost in a desert. And God is calling you out of that place of complacency. He's calling you out of that place of playing spiritually dumb. It is time for you to wake up. It is time for you to grab the horse by the reins and take control. Take control. Okay? Take control of your life. There are a lot of things going on around us, and we are just gravitating to these things because we think and they look like they're harmless, but they really are. There are a lot of teachings that are going forth that are harmful, that are contaminating our spirit. But because we don't know how to discern spirits, because we don't know how to accept the truth that we are seeing about a person, or because we don't want to think anything bad. That's a lot of people's issue. You don't want to think anything bad about a person. Oh, they couldn't be like that. Baby, the truth is what it is. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Do not accept a lie to be in bondage. Know the truth, see the truth, discern the truth, and you will be free. It doesn't mean that just because you saw whatever you saw about this person that you have a means to make them go to hell. No, that's not for you to do. You're not judging them, but you are discerning them. That's the difference. Discerning and judging is two different things. Judging is where you feel like you have the right to say where they should go or what's going to happen to them, or God is going to punish them for whatever they're doing. You don't have the place or the authority to do that. But God has given you spiritual authority to see and to hear what's going on with the person so that you'll know which direction to take. Too many of us are wasting time on people that God showed you that they was a snake. He showed you they was a crook from the beginning, but we wanted to give them the benefit of a doubt. We wanted to help them. We wanted to save them. And that is not your job to do, baby. See them for who they are and move on. Okay? So when you learn how to discern these spirits, intercession will be easier. Praying for people will be easier. Knowing how to deal with people in this life will be easier for you because you'll know who to spend your time on and who not to spend your time on. Now, there are some people that have the spirit of discernment where you feel things. When you may start tingling or feel a numbing sensation, or sometimes you may feel a pain in your chest. It's not that you have an anxiety attack. It's not that you have heart problems. This is ways that God will use people where you will feel something in your body. You will discern something in your body that's not right. If it's pain, that means that there is some sort of demon around you. There is some sort of warfare going on and you need to pray. Or it's letting you know, keep your guards up. And continue to pray. Continue to watch, fight, and pray. Okay. There was a time where my spirit of discernment was starting to get activated, and I would start tingling. Right? I would start tingling and feeling weird around certain people. Well, the reason why I was tingling is because I was dealing with some stuff myself, some spiritual strongholds from my family, from my bloodline myself. where any spirits, if I was around something negative or some sort of spirit, I would tingle. Okay, I would feel weird. I would feel like something, like my limbs were going numb and my hands were like cramping up, and I actually had to get prayed for. I had to break off some things. My family was into masonry and all this type of stuff. I had to break that stuff off. I had to come against that, and once I came against that, I was able to preach and pray against these demons without feeling like something was taking over my body or I was paralyzed or helpless. Okay, but once that ended, I still sometimes God does deal with me where I smell certain things. I smell different smells or different odors. I can smell the spirit of uncleanliness, where some people smell like garbage. Some people smell like something dead or old. And I thought that other people could smell it, but apparently it was just me. But this is him allowing me to see that this person is not who they say they are. This person is unclean. This person is into some things that they shouldn't be into. Okay, a lot of people's spirit of discernment is so strong to where they don't like to be in crowded or public places. That may be you, because you start to feel people's pain, people's issues, and all of this stuff, and it makes you uncomfortable. In the world, it's called an empath. In the spirit realm, that's called just having a strong spirit of discernment. That means that you have a gift of discerning spirits. And it can be overwhelming. It can make people panic. It can make people not want to go grocery shopping until it's nighttime, or make people want to just stay in their house and avoid people. God did not give you this gift to avoid people. This gift is a blessing to strengthen you, and also it's a ministry tool. The key to being able to control this gift is covering yourself. If you discern or feel people's pain, if you are around people and you start to feel like how they feel once you leave, you're depressed, you're sad, you're grieving, baby, you're going to have to learn how to cover yourself. You're going to have to cover yourself with the whole armor of God. Before you go anywhere, before you step out the house, you need to pray over yourself and cover yourself. The whole armor of God is going to help you fight this warfare, help you be able to not connect with all of these different spirits and take on their burdens and take on their situations. Okay, because when you go out into the world, imagine a person being like a link or a chain that you connect to. Even if you're just walking by them, there's some sort of connection that could be possibly happening. Especially if you have a strong spirit of discernment, it's going to happen anyways. But the whole armor of God is your spiritual protection, is your spiritual insurance to make sure that you're not carrying all of these loads. Okay, sometimes you will interact with people and it'll just happen, and you if you feel whatever's going on with them coming on to you, that's when you need to break spiritual links. You need to pray and immediately break links ASAP. I have a video in my playlist called the Breaking Links prayer. You can download it. I can send the picture to you. I use this prayer daily. I use it nightly. If I'm around something crazy, or I know I done been somewhere where I'm just not, like, my spirit don't agree with it, I'm going to pray immediately after. I'm not taking that stuff home with me. I'm not going to sleep and having to deal with that stuff and getting attacked. I don't have time for it. But what I do have time for is taking the necessary precautions to make sure that I am spiritually fit to go wherever I need to go. We do not have to live in fear. We do not have to live in apprehension, hoping that people don't come talk to us, hoping that whatever a person has on them, that it won't jump on you. You can live free in this life, be able to discern people, be able to discern spirits, and not have to deal with that personally. A lot of stuff that empaths or people that are sensitive to the spirit realm are dealing with has nothing to do with them. A lot of stuff that you are dealing with personally, you have picked up along the way, and you don't know how to break free of it. Okay, and God does not want you to be in bondage. He does not want you to be in fear of any of this stuff. Cover yourself with the whole armor of God, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, truth around your waist, peace on your feet, the sword of the spirit, and the shield of faith. Okay. I say these things out loud. I say, Lord, cover me with the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness. I go through every step, all 7 steps, and cover me. Let me use all kinds of prayer. Okay. I do this daily, child, because you never know. And especially if you are a threat to the enemy, if you're a threat to the enemy and you are not covered, I guarantee you it's gonna be something crazy that happened. It's gonna be somebody weird that's gonna come your way. And just, it's happened to me before where somebody just came up and touched me on my back, and then after they touched me on my back, I didn't break links immediately, and a day or so later I got a fever blister on my lip, or I'm dealing with some sort of pain in my body where I gotta be like, okay, Lord, what's going on? Or he gotta show me a dream, like what you need to pray against. You don't have to deal with all that stuff if you know how to battle, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Okay, we wrestle against principalities, rulers, powers, spiritual wickedness in high places, rulers of darkness, all of this stuff. We wrestle against that. It's a spiritual war around us all the time, but we, through the power of the blood of Jesus Christ, we don't have to be in fear. We don't have to be burdened down by this stuff. We don't have to just shop online. We don't have to avoid crowds. We can go into a crowd and be okay. Some of you will have to double down on that whole armor of God. You might have to put on the whole armor of God. Some places I have to put on the whole armor of God, and I have to pray. I have to visualize me covering myself and praying in the spirit and covering myself from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet, asking God to send his angels and everything to protect me, because there have been times where I have stepped off into a place and I knew whatever's in that building didn't want me in there because of who I am spiritually. And I could feel a pushback. I could feel a fight. For example, for whatever reason, like I lead worship. In particular, like old school Baptist churches, they don't like women in the pulpit. Women are supposed to speak from the floor, but they'll allow you to sing. Well, I had to go in this pulpit area to direct the choir. So directing the choir was fine, and my voice was fine. Wherever I was in the sanctuary, I could sing fine. As soon as I got the microphone to sing in the pulpit area, it's like wouldn't nothing come out. Like I really didn't have a voice. It was like something was squeezing my vocal cords, and everybody was looking at me like, what's going on? I knew what was going on in that moment, but it was nothing I could do because I hadn't covered myself thoroughly. I had covered myself with the whole armor of God, but I needed some extra layering, because the spirit, the stronghold in that pulpit is that we don't want a woman to speak. We don't want a woman to say anything up here. And that was the dominant spirit. That's what they had allowed in that house. That's what was in that pulpit. And it hadn't been cast out. And I was in its territory, right? But because I didn't prepare for that, it had authority. I had an open door. It had authority. It had been given license to try to shut me up. Okay, and I've experienced that a lot, especially being a woman in ministry. Some men only want you to go so far or say so many things, and then they want you to shut up. And I knew that's what it was, because at the church that I was going to, it was a Baptist church at that time, I dealt with the same thing. So the pulpit, imagine the pulpit being right here, and then there's this area where the singers are. Okay, long as I stayed in this area and sung, I was fine. But if I got a little bit too close to this area, I literally felt something like I couldn't get those notes out, like a force field almost, And I told my husband about it. So what he started doing is especially before I would have to go sing anywhere, he would pray over me. He would cover me because he is my covering. And baby, it made a difference. Baby, I was able to sing, walk all over that place, you know. So that's something that I learned. Okay, and that may not happen for everybody, but I want you to understand that even if you go into a church, it does not mean that it's free of spirits. Some of them may not be, but some of them are, depending on the mentality of that house, depending on the mentality of that particular denomination. It is spirits and strongholds attached to that. Okay, because there are some denominations that have based their whole belief system on what a woman should not do. A woman shouldn't speak, a woman shouldn't preach, a woman shouldn't wear this, a woman shouldn't wear that, which is bondage. Okay, and a lot of these things that they are putting on women, a lot of these holds and strongholds that they are putting on women, the men have no boundaries, no strongholds, and all of these strongholds are put on the women because the men are dealing with their own stuff. They dealing with lust. They dealing with the eye problem. They dealing with anger. They dealing with all this stuff. And you're putting the women in a box trying to control them, and you can't control yourself. So that all is spiritual. That's spiritual stuff. But if you cover yourself, if you learn how to cover yourself and you understand how important it is to do that, baby, you can go in any camp, any territory. You can do whatever you need to do that God has called you to do or that you want to do without any repercussions. And sometimes you will walk off into a thing. You may be covered as best as you know how. You might walk off into a thing and it may be different. It may be some demons there you ain't never came against. And you be like, whoa, I ain't expect that to happen. That's just a learning experience. Go before God and ask, okay, how do I deal with this? What do I need to do? What do I need to do to cover myself even more? Go in, triple extra hard. Do what you gotta do, baby. Do what you gotta do. We got authority over these demons, okay? Don't take none of this mess that the devil is throwing your way, baby. Don't take none of it. Don't accept it at all. You have power. Christ died. He was crucified not only to save us, save our souls, but so that we could be free from every type of wickedness that is in this world. Because this world is wicked, baby. It's too many people trying to clean up this world. He already knew this world was dark. That's why he called us to be the light. Okay, so if he called you to be the light, use the necessary tools that he has given you to be the light so that you can overcome darkness. He gave it. He took the keys back from Satan so that we can be free, so that we can put him under our feet. But we allowing him to rise up and tell our feet what to do and drag us all over the place. And that is not what God has called you to do. God has called you to see things for what they are and take the necessary precautions, do the right actions, do the right thing, apply the word to the situation, and be free. Be totally free, baby. Be totally free. All of these things work together. It's up to you to figure out how God works with you and how God works through you. We will talk about discernment some more, but I hope this little nugget really helped you. It encouraged you. If you need any help, please let me know in the comments, or even hit me up any of the ways via the description box. This is just Kristen Chavis. I love you guys. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.